Are $500,000 bailouts for fired MTA executives a better use of money than investing in improved Muni services throughout the city, or providing free Muni service to young people? Also, it's a burrito of a question. Also, in light of the controversial ad by the American Freedom Defense Initiative that is running right now, calling people savages, is MTA out of touch with the riders it is supposed to serve? Please explain your solutions to both of these issues.
I'm familiar with those ads. I believe they're racist. They need to be banned. I think the only way we can start that is by going to the MTA Commission and asking that they remove them, and to come up with some language or some kind of policy or mandate that disallows that type of racist advertising. It's very insensitive. It doesn't belong there. As for free Muni for youth, I worked, since I've been on the Board of Supervisors, worked with Supervisor Campos and other advocates, especially the Youth Commission. They took great leadership on this to try to ensure free Muni for youth. As you know, it was something that ultimately was decided on by the MTC, the Metropolitan Transportation Commission. That is a regional body, tends to be more conservative, and we lost the battle to fund Muni there. I think one of the things we need to look at is management. We need to look at more closely, perhaps an audit of Muni to see how money is being spent there. But beyond that, if the tech companies are going to be residing and they have a commitment to philanthropy, perhaps we can hit them up for some philanthropy when it comes to free Muni for youth. One of the problems I have with that is that before there were a lot of yellow buses. You could get on the yellow bus, get to school for free. Now children are required to find a means on their own to get on Muni. They're overcrowded. They're not always safe because we don't have neighborhood schools. Sometimes it means, commuting far distances. So I think there's a lot of issues that come into play here, and I support funding free Muni for youth and definitely not those ads.
If I was supervisor, I would find out who approved those ads in Muni and ask for them to resign from that whatever committee or body they're on, because that's just crazy that there's hate speech on our buses in San Francisco. Yes, Muni. Muni is I do believe that it rewards failure and doesn't reward success, and I think that is a problem, and I think it is a management issue. I think we need to reward success, and 500,000 golden parachutes are not the way to do it. We need to also look at technology. How do we implement new technologies to improve efficiency in the system? And there's a layer of management at Muni right below the top level that is resistant to technology. Any new technological applications or ideas that are brought in, they squash, and that's a problem. Our fleet of buses is aging out. We need to find ways to better fund Muni. We're a transit-first system and city, and we should have one of the best transit systems in the country. And a lot of people that I talk to in District 5 are not happy with Muni. And so I think we need to improve the system, and by looking at the management and bringing new technologies too. Just for example, a bus driver has to call in to find out where their route is. Has to actually call a supervisor to find out, and they should simply be able to text someone to find out, or use technology. Like this.
This person, that's really annoying. I'm hard of hearing already.
I'm sorry?
And then, that's really annoying. I'm already hard of hearing.
Okay.
I'm trying to listen to the answer. Please don't be disrespectful to our
I'm not trying to be
candidates.
disrespectful, but if I let everyone finish their run-on sentences, we'll be here all night.
Loud. You put the microphone in. We already told you guys we're hard of hearing.
Okay,
Please.
I really apologize for that, but we're all on a time.
Yeah, we need to be sensitive with people with disabilities.
First, I wanted to say that on that parks thing, I have to say that I've been fighting that 9 acres of artificial turf for 2 years. I'm on the steering committee that has filed the appeals to those projects. There's 2 appeals that we've filed, and we're going to fight this. This isn't going to go to the ballot, but it is likely to go to court. And so I actually wrote the Sierra Club's 25-page appeal document to it. I spent a lot of time on it, and you would be amazed at what goes on there in that issue. On Muni, I think the executive salaries are outrageous. They're triple what they were. I'm not just talking about the top, the top position, but the salaries underneath. They're triple what they were 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And that's just outrageous. At City College, I've done what I can to bring down salaries of executives. So we replaced the chancellor. We replaced one chancellor. We gave the next chancellor $125,000 less than the previous chancellor, less. And then the current chancellor, we gave her 6% less than the current chancellor. So, and this is at a time when chancellors all over the state, they're getting higher and higher and higher. So I'm a big believer that these government executive positions, they're just way overpaid. There's too many executives, and that money should be going to the riders.
So I'm on the San Francisco Transit Riders Union, and we are actually wanting to make Muni work for you. We think Muni should work for us, those of us who ride Muni. And so what does that mean in this situation? Well, from what I can figure out, if it's $500,000 per person fired, and it's $4 million to do free Muni for youth, and we get rid of 8 people, we can fund free Muni for youth. That's the good news. Quite the way that I'd like to fund it. However, I would like to fund it for all youth. And the reason for that is that I don't want Muni to be the second-class citizen's way to get around town. I want us all to support Muni. I want us all to support Muni. I want the middle-class person to be as vested as the low-income person in making sure that Muni works for us. So if I had my way and I fought for this, and I worked with David Campos, and I worked with Power, and I worked with the Youth Commission, we fought hard to have Muni be free for all youth, and then we went down to the next logical step, which is obviously low-income youth, because we have no buses need to get around. And then as far as any kind of hate crimes on buses or public transit, my story is Prague. The year is 1993. It says, gypsies to the gas chamber, and I realized it's time for me to leave the city. I took my gum, I chewed 4 pieces, I put it on the back of a piece of paper, and I placed it on the side of the subway. I couldn't stand it any longer. So.